In 1879, in a small village in southern France, a postman trips over a stone. It is a gesture that should have no consequences. Yet that stumble will change his life and lead him into the history of art. That man was called Ferdinand Cheval, and in the 33 years that followed, he would build a palace alone, not with precious materials, not following an academic design, but by collecting stones from the ground one by one during his long working days. It all began with what he called the pierre d'achoppement, the stumbling stone. Ferdinand Cheval was born into a poor family in the Drôme department and worked as a postman in Haute-Rive. Every day he walked kilometers to deliver letters, crossing fields, paths, and dirt roads. The day after that accident, he returned to the spot and found other stones with unusual shapes, shaped by erosion, almost sculpted by nature itself. It was at that moment that the idea stopped being a curiosity and became an intention. He was not an artist and had no formal training in architecture, yet he saw in those shapes something that went beyond mere matter. He saw the possibility of building a world. From then on, he began collecting stones every day after work. At first he put them in his pockets, then in a basket, and finally used a wheelbarrow, turning that repeated gesture into a daily discipline. From 1879 to 1912, for 33 consecutive years, Ferdinand Cheval worked on his dream. By day he delivered mail, by night he built under the light of an oil lamp, while the rest of the village slept. 33 years are not a detail. They mean more than 12,000 days, more than 12,000 evenings spent shaping stone when he could have stopped, rested, given up. He did not stop even when neighbors mocked him, convinced he was wasting time and energy on a senseless project. The first 20 years were devoted to the outer walls and sculptures, joining the stones with lime, mortar, and cement. It was slow, physical, repetitive work, and precisely for that reason, extraordinary. Every centimeter of the palace is the result of a gesture repeated thousands of times. Over time, the project took shape into something completely unexpected. It was not a simple construction, but a combination of styles, symbols, and suggestions that seemed to come from distant cultures. Elements of Christianity and Hinduism coexist within the same structure, alongside figures inspired by popular imagination. The statues depict animals such as octopuses, caimans, elephants, bears, and birds, as well as mythical creatures, giants, and fairies. It is a place that does not obey a traditional architectural logic, but an inner logic. His work is today considered one of the most significant examples of naïve architecture, created by someone without formal training. Yet the Palais Idéal attracted the attention of figures such as André Breton, Pablo Picasso, and Max Ernst, who recognized in it an authentic expressive force. Perhaps what struck them was not technical perfection, but the absolute coherence between vision and perseverance. Imagining the scene helps to understand the scale of this undertaking. A man alone, without funding, without institutional protection, not knowing whether anyone would ever understand what he was building. Yet he continued. He was not building to sell, nor to gain fame. He built because he felt that work had to exist. And this silent motivation, carried on for over 3 decades, is perhaps the most surprising part of his story. The dream grew slowly, centimeter by centimeter, until it became a palace that still exists today in Haute-Rive. Today, the Palais Idéal is visited, studied, and photographed. It is no longer the solitary project of a postman, but a recognized and protected place. Yet, looking at it closely, one can still sense the origin of it all, a stumble, a stone picked up out of curiosity, and the decision, seemingly irrational, not to let that intuition fall away. Perhaps the real question is not how he managed to build it, but how he found the strength to continue every day for 33 years without knowing whether he would ever see his dream completed. And so it becomes natural to ask, how many ideas do we abandon because they seem too big, too slow, or too lonely? What would you have done in his place? Would you have picked up that stone, knowing it would commit you for 33 years, or would you have kept walking?